Welcome to Kult Corner, I'm Atron.
And I'm Inferno.
And today we're going to be reviewing the cult classic, Sorceress.
Yes. Now, this movie is about these two girls. They are twins. And it starts out, they're just newborns, and their mom was escaping from somebody. You find out later it was her own husband.
Yeah, it's Tragon, the sorcerer in the movie.
Yes, and he wanted to get a hold of the girls because he wanted the eldest one to sacrifice. And, but he actually originally, I don't believe, knew they were girls. He just knew they were babies. But somehow the mother saves them along with this other sorcerer type guy who strangely looks like hippie Jesus.
He's like hippie Jesus on there.
And, you know, they rescue them and he gives them to a foster family to raise and take care of. And he imbues with them, like this blue light goes onto them. And he imbues them with his, you know, sort of powers of like strength and skill with weapons and whatnot and everything. And then it goes to, you know, a few years later, and now they're young adults, you know, probably, what, 18, 19, 20, you know, young adult type age. And they run across this satyr. And
he's like a goat man.
Yeah, goat man guy.
I don't know if they were trying to do the satyr type look, but
yeah, well, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was kind of a weird dude.
He's kind of pervy looking.
Yeah, he's really pervy looking.
And in one scene, like in like the opening, he's like the two sisters are swimming, the twins are, and he's like. He sees them swimming, he's like, you know, and he's like kind of pervy looking.
Yeah, and he doesn't ever speak. He just like makes goat sounds.
And
like,
one of the funnier scenes in the movie, they get out and they're like, "Who are you doing?" And they knock him out and stuff.
They both like punch him out.
Yeah.
And he has this friend.
Yeah.
Who actually kind of looks like Gimli the dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different influences in this movie. I mean. They try to have a barbarian guy and all sorts of stuff that look kind of out of place, but whatever. Yeah. It's just, it's a mixed mash of different things.
But anyway, for whatever reason, the girls decide to go with Goatman and Gimli the barbarian. And they end up going to this town and stuff and running into the Gimli guy. What was his name?
Baldar, yeah.
Baldar was the character. Yeah, he was kind of a Viking, but he looked more like a dwarf.
Yeah.
But he had a friend who was supposed to be this barbarian that they were, you know, hooking up with too, named Erlich. And that guy.
He's the barbarian guy.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a barbarian. They keep talking about how tall he is, but he actually was like basically normal height.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't that tall.
He was like not really even all that strong looking or anything. He was just like general.
He's kind of guy. Like a little bit buffer version of Christopher Atkins, if you guys remember who he was. He was like an 80s heartthrob for the girls.
Yeah, he looked kind of like that. And so these people are going to help them because they know that their dad, well, they didn't know it was their dad, but the sorcerer guy, Tragon, wanted to kill them, and so they were going to go and confront him and whatnot. And so there's a point where Tragon and one of his followers send like these monkey people out to capture them because Tragon still wants to capture the oldest so he can sacrifice them to get more powers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And these monkey people capture them by making them high with like this weird fruit stuff that like released gases like when they tossed it at them.
Yeah.
And so they capture the one girl, and the sorcerer guy, Tragon, tells her, "Oh, you're going to be a princess," and this, that, and the other. And then there's like a weird sort of sexual current thing that, you know, she and Erlich, who they also captured, you know, the barbarian guy, are supposed to meet.
Erlich's a player, you know, he's slept with a lot of women in the movie.
Yeah.
So.
But, you know, they were supposed to like be making like, you know, this special baby thing, something or other. Which I don't know how they were supposed to do because he also was going to sacrifice her, so I don't get how that was supposed to work. But anyway, it gets to a point where she's captured, they're going to kill her, and they're going to have the barbarian Erlich guy do the killing, the sacrificing. Her sister and Baldar, the Viking guy, are sort of trapped in a little situation, and they end up calling on their gods and stuff, and so like their god and
the sorcerer's
god sort of do a little battle up in space, and
yeah,
and their god ends up, you know, being triumphant,
and just like just 2 seconds basically, one blast and it blows up the other god.
Yeah, so I mean, anyway, that saves the day, and
everybody lives happily.
Ever after, except for the sorcerer guy.
Yeah, he's not too happy.
No. And his followers aren't too awful happy either.
So yeah, this is kind of like one of the many sword and sorcery type films that came out in the 80s.
Yeah, in the early to mid 80s.
This, I mean, if you know, if you're a fan of them, you know a lot of the major titles: Beastmaster, Deathstalker, Sword and the Sorcerer,
Excalibur,
Barbarians,
Conan.
You could, I guess, say Clash of the Titans could be in
that.
Yeah,
even kind of, sort of.
Yeah. And this is one of the lower key movies of the sword and sorcery.
Well, this was done actually with pretty
genre.
low budget. I mean, it was done with only $500,000.
Yeah, so.
And it was filmed down in Mexico, and then it was finished up here, you know, in post-production.
Yeah.
Up in America. This is actually a Roger Corman production, and it was directed by Jack Hill, and I guess they sort of had a kind of falling out like
during the making
of this. So, you know.
They had like a 2-hour version of this, and I guess it got chopped down because it was kind of goofy and incoherent.
Yeah, and then that made Jack Hill sort of mad because he thought that stuff was artistic.
And like this movie's still goofy.
Yeah,
but,
this movie is very goofy, and the acting actually is really horrendous. It's really bad acting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one point you can tell this one guy forgot his line, and they just like went with it. They just like never finished the line. He just like sort of looks off.
And the two like twins, they were actually in Playboy. They're playmates.
Yeah, they were Lee Harris and Lynette Harris.
And they can't act themselves out of a paper bag.
No.
They're horrible. And they're basically there for TNA shots.
Yeah, they're basically there for boobs.
Yeah.
Pretty
so
much.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, obviously they ain't the most sophisticated actresses, you know.
And I mean, there was so much that was so pervy in this that they actually didn't carry out to the full extent that they could have. Like that goat guy, I mean, every time I looked at him, I was like,
Barbie
oh my gosh.
Benton, who was also in some of these kind of B movies, was a better actress than these two.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad acting, like, all the way around. I don't think anybody in it really could act that well.
It's really like a popcorn flick. I mean, it's nothing serious. You can't take this movie serious. I mean, the effects are kind of okay. They're what they are. It's in the 80s. I've seen worse, you know. But,
and this is one that you watch to laugh. I mean,
yeah, this is a good time movie. It's nothing. Don't check your brain out when you go into it. I mean, but it's just one of those types. Who else is in this?
Roberto Nelson is the guy who plays Ehrlich, the barbarian guy that looks like Christopher Atkins.
Yeah.
David Milburn is Pando, which is the Goat Man guy.
Yeah.
And you know, his facial prosthetics that they lose on him make him look even creepier. He just
he's just kind of a pervy looking.
He looks like such a pervy looking guy, seriously. Yeah. And Bruno Ray is who plays Baldar, and that was the Viking type guy who looks like Gimli.
Yeah.
And Roberto Ballesteros was Tragon, the sorcerer, the bad guy.
Yeah. So yeah, really good film. Like I said, it's kind of a campy Conan the Barbarian type of film.
It's not even bloody or anything like that. I mean, it's just kind of goofy and silly.
Yeah, it's just for what it is. Just some action, some TNA, some just kind of goofy fantasy elements, and mixes together, and it works. You know, I mean, I guess they had, like I said, they had a lot of problems making this because, I mean, it was way over budget and stuff.
Yeah, it was over budget, and it was taking too long, and then there was clashing between the director and the producer, and just, so it had problems too. And then it didn't help that same year, just a couple months late, you know, right around the same time, roughly, Conan came out, which obviously...
and there's some weird kind of, like, in one of the features or the interviews in here, they're talking like this, Conan came out before, but then it says that Conan came out later, like a couple months later, so there's kind of some confusion about that, so...
I mean, we know they were both released the same year, but we don't know exactly for sure which one was first.
And obviously Conan is a superior movie in every way. It's just better acted, like very gory, just better special effects. It's just
actually
it's pretty much the godfather of the barbarian sword and sorcery films, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of these films, you probably want to get this. This is the Blu-ray release by Scorpion, and they also have a DVD version you can get. For a while, this was just hard to get on VHS. Really bad copies of old VHSs were kind of circulating around. You could get them on eBay for 20, 25 bucks, even more expensive depending, you know, the quality and stuff. So it's nice to have this really finally out on Blu-ray, and a nice transfer. Really sweet looking transfer.
Yeah, it actually looks really nice and clean, honestly. For being as low budget.
Yeah, because you can totally see the bad hairdos now, you know, right up.
Yeah. I mean, it's so bad. There was even one point you could totally tell, like, the stunt double and stuff at one point. And it's like...
It is, yeah. But yeah, this is the Blu-ray here. Okay. Backside. But I like the artwork on here. It's really cool.
Yeah, the artwork's really cool.
It has another kind of artwork too that they didn't put in here.
Yeah, which is actually even cooler.
Yeah, I like it more. They should have done a double side, like with the artwork. Yeah, so let's check this out. If you love fantasy and sword and sorcery Conan type films, it's really good. Okay, how many stars are you gonna rate this out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a 6. I mean, it's fun, but it is what it is. It's not the greatest.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say 6. 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah. It's got 4 interviews on here and some trailers. Roger Corman talks about it. I guess he still likes this movie. Because he speaks pretty fondly about it. So, and it's got the special effects guy on here, John Carl Buchler or whatever, who seemed to have a good time, and he was on a kind of a thin budget and came up with some old ideas to save money. And so I guess Roger Corman was pretty happy about that. The post-production guy's on here with a interview, and they got a trailer for this and some more trailers for other releases. So, yeah. So we are out of here. Until next time, hail the fantasy.
Hail fantasy?
Yeah.